Hi friends, it's Molly with Slow School Tarot and Astrology. I'm here with you guys today for a general and timeless reading for my Capricorn collective, however you identify with that. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. I've got cards on the table, so let's go ahead and get right into your reading. Capricorn, typically we would start out this reading with an oracle deck. And for you guys, I actually was getting called to use this light and shadow tarot. It doesn't come out very often, but I will tell you when it does, it really is, it communicates to me about the fact that spirit is showing you something, bringing something into your life in order to teach you about its opposite. Okay, so we'll get in. The other deck that I'm using, one of the other decks I'm using is another black and white deck. So we'll go ahead and get into this reading. Is that right with you, Fred? Okay, so you guys, it is a bit of a love reading. It seems to me that there was, well, we can summarize it like this. You've been through something, Capricorn. If this is your reading right now, and I do, by the way, set the intention that this reading finds you at a time that's going to make the most sense to you, provide the most assistance to you. If it's not your reading, check in on your other signs. Basically, long story short, you went through a startling ending to a relationship, okay? And spirit is coming in to kind of go over the details of exactly how that went down, because I feel like you're in a place where you're maybe not seeing the lesson. You're not seeing the what for, okay? There's definitely a lesson to be learned in this. Some of you guys, this is just spirit coming through, letting you know that they've got their eye on you and they're proud of you for learning the lesson that's in front of you. So, Two of Pentacles is this situation that you found yourself in with this relationship, all right? Two of Pentacles is a really good back and forth flow of energy. You can see these people are connected around the waist by this infinity symbol, but the infinity symbol here is a snake. So it does make me feel like there might have been some sort of temptation. There might have been also, I heard Kundalini awakening. All right. So this might be somebody that there was a lot of sexual energy with, a lot of tension with, a lot of back and forth, just opposites attract type energy. And it felt really, really good, right? You see it feeling each other. Feels really good at the time. All right. What happens next is this Tower card. All right. So, and on the other side of that, we have a Two of Cups reversed. So something happened in which this really good energetic vibe that you've got going on with somebody, there comes a moment where it comes as a bit of a surprise to understand that the emotional element, like however you guys are meeting each other physically, energetically, this person failed to meet you there emotionally. And that was definitely a Tower moment for you. All right. So obviously you see somebody here being thrown from that tower. And the card that came out with this Two of Cups reverse, I'll let you see what that looks like. Upright. You can see this is, like I said, kind of an opposites attract type energy. And I'll tell you what, those can be very magnetic, very electric, and very exciting, very, very passionate. But they often come into our life to teach us a lesson, right? And the lesson often comes from that Tower moment. Like, whoa, wait a second. This is not what I thought it was, all right? I did go to this deck. I have this little deck that I use. Where'd it go? It is called Feelings in a Flash, and it's used to help kids talk about their feelings, right? So half of the deck is naming the emotions, and the other half is presenting situations that will allow people, to talk about their emotions. This is a situation, and they all feature children, of course. So I just adapt these to some sort of grown-up situation that we could be going through. This is a story about this kid just got done with recess. He's thirsty. That says to me that you've just gone through something where what you need is to be met emotionally. You need water, okay? You need water, which is emotion. But he finds out, oh, there's this great big long line to the water fountain. Okay. So you were put in a situation. And actually, one of the first energies that I got with this is that you were feeling drained. This might have been as exciting as it was. Babe, please not right now. Nope. I'm reading. Thank you. That no matter how exciting it was, it did also leave you feeling kind of drained. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. All right. And this person ended up showing up as the King of Wands reversed. All right. So somebody who's very, very passionate, but maybe not very genuine or very authentic. Okay. This is somebody who's here for a good time, not a long time. Oh, you got a hard time? He's out of here. All right. So this is somebody who in the moment where they had an opportunity to show up and reciprocate this beautiful energy on an emotional level, and they did not. So that's a bit of a shock. I do feel like you're in a period where you're healing from that now, but maybe not quite seeing the lesson. All right. Six of Swords. Oh, just all these things right here. Okay. Six of Swords is the first of this series of cards to come out, if I could get it picked up. And this is a pip deck, meaning that there aren't images. There's just the number of swords that this card has. All right. We get to the ace. There is an ace, and there are several major arcana. We do have images of that. So anyways, whatever I'm rambling on about, this is a sign of healing, that you've moved away from the situation and began to get a better perspective on it, that this person was just not working out with you. What felt like this Two of Pentacles basically could not be taken to a 3. All right. Meaning that you had a good back and forth, but as far as building something together, it just wasn't happening. This wasn't something you were going to build with, even if that's what you thought. Turns out you were wrong about this person. This is just the realization that maybe you misjudged a situation. Maybe you saw this person as being somebody that you could work with long term, but you don't want to fight for it. You don't want to work on it. 5 of Wands reversed and the 8 of Pentacles reversed. This is putting effort into saving something, right? Some of you guys, this is saying just the whole thing was too much effort. Before I even came time to save it, before the Tower moment came along, it was just too much effort. So what's the lesson in it? That's kind of what Spirit wants to talk to you about. I feel like this is interesting because like with each group of cards, they're moving me along the timeline. So this is a past energy that this Tower moment happened. You're currently in the healing, but maybe not seeing the message of it. So Spirit says, let's go back to when you first met this person. What were you picking up about them intuitively? All right. You're like, oh, you're really going to call me out like that? And Spirit's like, yeah, we're going to call you out like that. That's part of the lesson here. All right. What I really thought was interesting is that this is a 2, by the way. There's lots of 2s on the table. Is that in the beginning I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? You kind of have like a half of a Gemini sign, half of a twin. For some of you guys, this is somebody that you thought was your twin flame, but they're not. They're somebody else's twin flame, and you're somebody else's twin flame too. Okay. But also the fact that it's these 2 pillars and it's a black and white pillar, just like the High Priestess has. But these pillars are so far in the background that it makes me feel like when these 2 people were really magnetically attracted to each other, they didn't listen to their intuition about the situation. You didn't necessarily listen to what your higher self was saying to you. Because I don't know how to say this. Spirit is like, you kind of think back, and did you maybe kind of see that coming? Like, did your intuition maybe tell you that that was coming up? All right. And this Ace of Cups is 2 things. Oh shoot, we got the moon right here too. Oof. This is gorgeous because the Ace of Cups actually represents the portal. To me, it's the third eye. Because the moon, this is the conversation I had in a Facebook group just recently. The moon represents the world that the high priestess has access to. It's really interesting. I've also heard a lot of people talking about scrying lately. So I almost see her staring into this water, right? And what's reflected back to her is this moon energy, right? Well, let's say if you went to I feel like if you've seen Harry Potter, you know, the Pensieve, where they can just like put their face in the thing and they go back and they just like see all the different scenes. But imagine instead of that, you can see the future. All right. Spirit's kind of like, don't you remember? Oops, that's not how it came out. They're like, don't you remember seeing the Wheel of Fortune reversed? Do you remember feeling that maybe this was something that wasn't going to go somewhere? And Spirit's like, you had an intuition, but you didn't trust it. You didn't go with your intuition. And that's kind of how we ended up here. For some of you guys, Spirit is like, you don't see the pattern. You're not seeing it. Because with this situation, I don't know why I put that card down upside down. This situation occurred in your life. For some of you, it's just what we said. To give you this opportunity to look back and be like, oh, that's what my intuition sounded like. I did hear it all along. I just didn't trust it. For some of you, this came along as an opportunity to point out a pattern, a wheel, a cycle that you keep repeating. And that you have the opportunity, that you keep repeating kind of like every time you meet somebody new. For some of you, every time you meet somebody new, you don't really know how to stay balanced on top of this wheel. It's just like one step in either direction and whoosh. Now you're suddenly awash in emotion. So for some of you, the lesson is in, oh yeah, my intuition was trying to tell me something. For some of you, the lesson is in, oh, maybe I do kind of do this a lot. I find somebody and I find that we're vibing and it feels good. And then we just link up and there it is, this energy exchange. But let me tell you part of the lesson here. My elbow itches. Is that in the light and shadow tarot, obviously the color white represents the light. And the color black represents the shadow. It's all about yin and yang. All right. The yin energy, I hope I don't mess this up. The white energy is the masculine energy. It is an outward expressing energy. Something you would expect from a King of Wands, whether he's upright or reversed. Capricorn, I feel like you're playing the role of the yang or the feminine energy that's very receiving, right? Receiving, healing. Really, this is somebody that you're like, well, of course they're going to be there for me because I'm always there for them. And then the time came for them to be there for you, to give back what you had been giving out to them, and you saw that they were not there to return it. Okay? That is a pattern that exists within the distorted, and in fact, I'm going to call them both out, the distorted masculine. The distorted masculine is completely blind to the power of the feminine, and therefore he doesn't realize the value of all that the feminine is offering, all of the healing and receiving and holding space for, and therefore they just use it up and move on and don't have any understanding or appreciation of it. Okay, that comes from our society, our culture, and just the subliminal messages that are taught to men a lot of times about what femininity is and means. Okay, on the other side of that coin, and I say that because the distorted masculine showed up out of the true love reading cards. For some of you guys, this is your pattern. If you're a female, okay, or a feminine energy, if you're a very caring, nurturing person, and you attract people who look real good on the outside, but they never give that back to you. That is a pattern that Spirit is wanting you to look at, because the distorted feminine doesn't have boundaries. The distorted feminine gives to anyone in need, regardless of what they're willing to give back. Okay? And that's what this experience came to show you. This is you as the feminine. Look at how much you have to offer. You have so much to offer. There's a lot of really wonderful tools. You're very peaceful, very knowledgeable. You've got your intuition. You have so much to offer. But Spirit's saying not everybody deserves it. And that's sort of the lesson that's meant to be learned from this situation, is being able to put up boundaries around anything that doesn't look like this, okay? It doesn't have anything to do with like the appearance of the two people, but I want to point out that this commitment, these two swans, to me, that's a Two of Cups energy. These are two people that match. They're the same polarity, so to speak. All right? They match. Whereas these two are too much opposites. Okay? One person is always giving and one person is always receiving. That's what happens in a toxic relationship in which the distorted masculine and feminine are swapped. All right? And so what Spirit's saying, like, what if we got you somebody who gave as much as you do? And what if what if the lesson that we're trying to get you to learn, Capricorn, in order to get you there, is just to put up boundaries? Okay? Is this all right? If you guys are vibing with this reading, unfortunately, we don't have an extended today. I am going to get you something from the Moonology Oracle deck, but I also wanted to let you guys know that if you want a personal reading from me, you can actually, there's a link in the description box below for a 15-minute tarot and oracle reading. If you click on that and hit subscribe and save, you can get monthly readings from yours truly for only $17 a month. You get those in your inbox within 48 hours of your monthly payment. And then, of course, those are also available at the 30 and 45-minute increments as well. So, show the world the real you. Interesting, because we just kind of got told about boundaries. Spirit is saying to me that sometimes you show up in that way because you feel like that's what the other person needs or what the other person wants, right? And Spirit's like, you know, all you really have to do to gain the love that you desire is to show up as yourself, the real you. You and your loved ones are safe and step out of your comfort zone. This is coming up because it's almost as if it's not comfortable for you to speak boundaries. And Spirit's saying that's the way to keep yourself safe. Okay? The reason I keep looking at that cup is because there's a lot of times the cups will have this like crab coming out of it in this deck. So I'm looking at this cup right here. And it's almost like here you are walking through the world so ready to offer your cup to somebody who's going to reciprocate that. What Spirit is asking you to do is to learn how to protect your cup from the people who are not willing to reciprocate that at this time. So, my beloved Capricorns, happy Valentine's Day, by the way, and not the best Valentine's reading, but hopefully it brought in a little bit of a lesson that's going to help you move towards the one that's right for you. Thanks. Have a good day.